Hi. So, am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Okay, cool. Perfect. So, let's start. So, before starting, I just wanted to let you know about myself. My name is Anuj, and I have 12 years of experience in networking, network security, as well as in cybersecurity. I started my career with networking. I was a network engineer, was enjoying my life, then found a fun in the security. So, moved to the network security, explored in firewalls, and then slowly moved to the cybersecurity. So now I'm also working on the vulnerability management as well as the email security, EDR tool, CrowdStrike, Splunk. So these type of things I'm also looking onto that, and I have experience on those as well. So in between, I'm covering this course for the FortiGate firewall, but along with that, you will during the session you will also get a touch of the cybersecurity. Obviously, because we are in the security, so we should get something about the security as well. But because we are in the network security, it is very essential that you should be having some background in the networking. So, how many of you are good in the networking? Not expert, not certified, but yeah, at least you have some basic level of knowledge, like what is the subnetting, what are the switches, what are the routers, and all. If you have experience, just say yes. If not, then say no. Yeah, it will be fine. No problem.
Yeah, Anuj, I have the experience and the certificate of it in
Okay,
CCN.
that's cool. Okay, you have CCNA as well.
Yeah, I'm also working in a networking domain, and yeah, I'm also having a CCNA certification.
Okay, that's cool. So I'm assuming that most of you are having the experience on this like networking. I will not certification is not mandatory, but yeah, networking is essential. Like you know how the switches are working, how basically router work. So those things are essential. So yeah, whoever is having the mic issue, they cannot speak. They are good to go with the chat. I'm reading the chat as well in between. So just give me a second. Some of the participants are having issue entering, so we'll check for that.
Hi, sir. I'm working as a knock. Um, I deal. I as a manager, I'm having to overlook all these things, but I not subsequently worked inside though much of those router switches and firewalls. I'm very interested in knowing all these things. I'm CCNA
Okay.
certified. I don't have like hands-on. I have not got into it myself.
Yeah, if you don't have the hands-on, but you have like gone through training and you have exposure, like that's fine. So there's a no problem. Like you can go ahead with that one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for allowing me
yeah,
to attend this meeting.
sure. Yep. Sure, Neeraj, it will be recorded and most probably I will be uploading in this YouTube. So you can access over there. All right, so let's move further. So I'm expecting you have some basic functionality like understanding of the switches and router. And once you have these one, now we can like move, we are good to go for the security. So if I talk about the career path, after you have done your networking, people can go into like multiple sections. They can move to the security, they can move to the cloud administrator. They may also, like some of the people I have seen, like they go for the Linux as well, and they become the virtualization network engineer. Okay. So virtualization means that we are mostly they are working in the virtual environment with the NSX and all. So those fields are also fine. Like they can move on to that. So these are like major things like people go after networking. Like these are in line, but obviously like nobody is restricting if you learn software development. Nobody is stopping. It's your skill. You can do anything. Nobody is stopping there that you cannot do that one, right? So you can go, but these are like inline paths. So they help you to move further in next round because without networking, you may face issues in these technologies. Without networking, you can't go in these fields. Okay. So very first question, it comes in our mind that why should I learn FortiGate firewall? And when I was just like having conversation with the participants, I had this question that why should I learn FortiGate firewall? So let me tell you that there are like a lot of, just give me a second. So why should I like only go for FortiGate? We have like a lot of vendors in the market, and for example, we have very much good player in the networking, which was Cisco. They have Cisco ASA as a firewall, firepower, right? We have other firewalls as well, like Sophos is generating. We have Palo Alto. Huawei is also working in this section. There are a lot of vendor who are doing the firewalls. But why only like why should I go 48? So if we look onto the survey or the for the Gartner, so Gartner is like a third party which provides a survey based on the ease of convenience in the configuration, performance of the firewall, downtime, and based on the feedback from other guys. So what they do, they have like every quarter or yearly they release a quadrant that is called as a magic quadrant, and for that they release it for everything. But if we see the quadrant for the firewalls, you will observe that the leaders in this section are Palo Alto, FortiGate, and Checkpoint. Remaining others are also like in this market, but they do not acquire a lot of market. So I will say that 80% of the firewalls or 80 to 90% market is covered by these three. And here, like Checkpoint is little bit in decline because of the slowness, or you can say the ease of configuration is quite complex because of their architecture. So I have seen that people are moving from Checkpoint to either FortiGate or Palo Alto. So they are like replacing Checkpoint and going to Palo Alto and FortiGate. Now, if you ask me that which one is good, like from Palo Alto to FortiGate is like very hard to answer that one because could be my more personal choice, but it's not like but requirement is for both of them. And whenever you go in the job market, and observe that uh, you will observe that in the market that the requirement is for both of them, Palo Alto and FortiGate. And you see the jobs are upcoming like that one. You should be having exposure in the networking as well as at least two firewalls exposure you should have. If you have one, like you have the concept of network security, you are good to go. There's no problem. Nobody's stopping you. But yeah, if you have like exposure in, or experience in the one firewall, they easily correlate that, okay, if you know one of the firewall, if you put some concept or the put some effort in the exploring GUI, you can learn easily other firewall. But obviously, like it's a little bit hard if you know one firewall to go another firewall. But yeah, if you have to put some extra effort, you can easily correlate and go ahead. So that's why we are like going for the FortiGate, and I am running this FortiGate and Palo Alto alternatively. So once like today was my last class of the Palo Alto, so and now I'm starting with the FortiGate. So I will be continuing with the FortiGate firewall. Once I finish this FortiGate, I will once again start this Palo Alto. So that's like I'm doing from last 2 to 3 years, and it is alternatively I'm proceeding with that one. All right. So I hope you don't have any questions till now. If you have, let me know. I see one question in the chat. I have one query which is more demanding network security or cyber security. This is like a really good question. I will take that one. So very first, if you talk about the cyber security, what comes in the cyber security? Can anyone just type on the chat or uh, speak that what do you think that if I include in any organization I am putting a cyber security, what should I do? What type of things I should do, and that should be considered as a cyber security? Anyone? It's very good. Like whenever we have an
So
interactive session, it feels good. Yeah, please go ahead.
something related to like if we have any attack going on to stop it or to control it or somewhere like we can defend it before like in taking the steps so no one can attack the site or something like that.
Okay, so one of the like idea we got the stop attack, right? Now,
Like we have
next
so
thing
many
is
kind of phishing attack and spoofing and those things.
okay. So phishing and
So there
spoofing.
that should become.
Okay, what else you could be thinking?
Let's say,
I mean, so other attacks are
okay.
Hmm. Okay, yeah. Let's take this one as one. What other things?
Okay, let's say we on the cybersecurity, it's on a virtual platform. We are
Hmm.
trying to secure our particular network. It could be a Soho network or it could be an complete organization network.
Hmm.
Any unwanted traffic,
Hmm.
not something that is not required for organization, and any kind of say any kind of we just cannot say attacks. We can argue that it can be any kind of unwanted network, unwanted traffic,
Okay, secure your
unwanted things
organization
coming us.
from unwanted traffic, right?
Unwanted traffic, yes, I can say let's on a broader perspective,
Yeah, yeah.
because it varies from organization to organization, correct? For
Okay.
some, where I'm in a medical, even social media will not be allowed. But when
Hmm.
I'm going to any IT companies, basic social media can be allowed, because there's not too much of data that needs to be stopped, like say Facebook or even Google can be allowed.
Hmm.
But when you
Hmm.
come to medical, even that is not allowed,
Hmm.
correct?
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
how
yeah,
and where we are building our perimeter when we're looking the organizational structure.
correct. Anyone else have
That's
their
my
perspective? Yeah, that's
take
good.
take on
Anyone
it.
else have their point? Like they want to say something?
I think cybersecurity is very broad when it comes to definition.
That's right.
Uh, Network
It's
security
very
can, belong to cybersecurity, and then there's a blue team, there's a red team. So I think it is very uh, cybersecurity is in general protecting your network from like what the other guy said, unwanted traffic.
Yeah, so I will prefer this one, and that's the actually right approach. So cybersecurity is a very broad term. Okay, whenever you say cybersecurity, very first thing, obviously, like we are putting the cybersecurity to stop the attacks. Now it comes that what are you doing? How you are stopping those attacks? We can implement the firewalls, right?
Yes.
One thing, same time, like there could be other thing like you have a server and people are scanning that network, right? They are doing the reconnaissance attack. So that
Yep.
comes somewhere. We are using firewalls, but we are stopping using the firewalls. We are stopping that one. Why they are doing that one? They are finding the vulnerability. They are trying to find the vulnerability in our any of the server or our firewalls anywhere. So now next thing comes as a vulnerability management. That we have to be very sure that our devices, whatever devices or server are inside our network, we don't have any vulnerability. So that's also part of the uh, management. Next thing, it comes like whenever you have your firewall, you're stopping the attacks. How your firewalls is stopping the attacks with the phishing. Like let's suppose you click on any phishing link, and that's like spoofing some. Like let's suppose we have some Times of India website. Somebody has like some similar website they have created, and you are clicking on that link, right? So recently, like we have our attack on the CrowdStrike, than yesterday or day before yesterday, right? Now,
Hmm.
what is happening? We had around 40 to 45 spoof domains like that.
Hmm.
Microsoft, CrowdStrike.com, CrowdStrike .in, CrowdStrike co dot something, CrowdStrike notification something. And now what are they doing? They are sending email from that domain. And they are saying that, okay, please click this link and then your system will be working fine. Because they know that this is a worldwide attack and people are like very struggling very much to recover it. So they are sending an email and you may click on that link, right? So now it comes like you have to uh, secure your emails. So it comes an email security as well. That what are the emails are coming into your network or going outside of that one, right? Also, you have to like make yourself like your organization clear what is like government policies, because in every country the government has set some standards that if you are a banking if you are a bank, then you should follow these standards. If you are not doing that one, you are non-compliant, we will cancel your licenses. But now it comes a new field that is like governance and risk. Governance, risk, and compliance. We call it like this, GRC. Governance, risk, and compliance. Okay. So now there are like a lot of things are happening. There are some more like whenever you are having these terms. Now, if anyone is clicking that link and he has gone to any phishing website, how you will monitor this? If anyone is scanning your network, then how will you come to know? So for that one, monitoring of these all these things, we have the SIEM tool, right? SIEM tools mean like we are using like Splunk, QRadar. So these type of things we are doing. Firewalls, like you vendors already we already discussed. Vulnerability management, we use like Qualys. These are like tools name I'm giving. Qualys, or we also using the Tenable. Okay, so these are like tools we are using for the vulnerability management. Email security, we have like multiple vendors, Mimecast or some others like also are available. So they provide a service to uh, stop services, stop email, which of the email like can come to your organization, what they are leaving your organization, that everything you can track from here. So these all the things, if I do like complete everything, this complete is like our cybersecurity. Everything is part of the cybersecurity. And here the firewalls, that is our network security. So I think this clears your question in detail.
Like IPS is a part of your firewall, right?
IPS, yeah. We like in some firewalls, it is part of the firewalls. In some cases, this is separate module. For example, Cisco ASA, they install IDS and IPS like separate module is there. While in like FortiGate or Palo Alto, these are part of the firewall. They have dedicated like module inside integrated within the firewall. You don't have to buy any extra device for those one. They are part of the actual firewall. So I think now you understand that what are the like on which field we are. So we are here in this section. Okay. Now let's talk more about the firewall. So what should learn now? Very uh, a good question, right? So obviously, I'm like most of you could be interested in cybersecurity. So what should you learn? Which one of them? So there is like no,
Are you asking?
yeah. If you would have been like what which field you will prefer?
As of now, actually, I want to know more how to like set up the lab first.
Okay, okay, that's good. The lab part is like we will be coming up slowly. So uh, fine. So like here right now in our we are in the network security. I was just like wanted to know your interest that where you are, but obviously like in this session, this course is going to be network security, and that's also focused on the FortiGate. People are learning. Like I have seen a lot of people are interested in learning, so they are spending time on YouTube and some free content. But obviously, like free content is always like limited, or you don't have a structured way and giving you the positive result in a timely manner. So these are things are happening because this is like wide uh, multiple fields are available. And now if you uh, focus on like any of them or you enroll in one of them and you don't get result, that's like a waste of money. So you just like go to some basic things, you understand those what they are, and then choose one of them and then get deep. Because if you are going to work, you should be interested in that one, and also not only interested, you should have some good results, like their job opportunities market is good, then only you should learn. Otherwise you learned technology and there's no requirement, then there's no need of that one. Perfect. So let's try to understand ethical environment. Okay. So how your organization is basically. So for example, you have, if you have a typical example, like you could be having a router in your company, that could be WAN router or web facing. Behind that, that could be terminating to the core switches. And these could be like two core switches for the redundancy, that if any of them goes down, then also it is working, right? And after that one, we could be having some access switches. Access switches, yep, I will write like this. Access switches could be like on floor wise, but in every floor you are having one access switches, and you are connected, your machine is connected from every access switch. Like it could be multiple machines could be connected over there. Also, it could be like Wi-Fi available. So it could be like from this access switch, it is going to any of the access point. And from the access point, your machine is connected via Wi-Fi. That could be also happening. But the scenario is that ultimately you are terminating to the access switch. And then the access switch are connected to the core switch. And that's how you are going to the your WAN router. So obviously, whenever you are going in the WAN router, and this will be connected to the internet, because all of these users will be accessing to the internet. Whenever they access the internet, then it needs a security. because someone was saying that we have to make these guys safe from unwanted traffic. We don't want that anybody is coming inside, or these guys, whatever they want to access any phishing link or something, they can access anything. I need some security. So what do I do? I install a firewall here. That whoever is going outside, they can be controlled, like their traffic can be controlled on our firewall. So very first thing, it is like very essential that we rarely route or we do not allow any traffic from outside to inside, or you simple words from from internet towards our internal network. We rarely allow it until unless we have any vendor or we have any contract, we do not allow any traffic. And whenever we say that we do not allow, it doesn't mean that we block any reply traffic. Is this initiation, like any when requesting from here, that will not be allowed to cross to our firewall. All right. Now, next thing, if these guys, whatever are like people internal here, and they wants to access something, for example, this guy, he wants to access the internet. How he will be doing is going on this firewall. I'm having certain policies that what he can access, what he cannot. It depends on the organization. Sometimes you allow social media, like people can access. It's like according to the policy of your organization, they are fine that the Facebook is accessible. From some organization, it's not allowed. They block it. For some organization, YouTube is also blocked. They say that YouTube is a time wasting. But some organizations say, no, no, this is for required for learning. So it's good. So it's based on the policy of your organization. You can set up a rule on this firewall that what can be allowed and what cannot be allowed. So for example, you have allowed YouTube. So it will check the policy that, okay, it is allowed. It will go to the internet. Whenever I'm saying that it is crossing to our firewall, the return traffic will automatically be allowed. There is no restriction that, okay, forward traffic is going, so we need a policy to get the revert as well. We do not need any additional policy. You need one policy to go out from internal network to external network. That's it. Revert traffic is by default because this firewall is stateful firewall. There's two terms, stateful and stateless. This is stateful firewall. And in case of a stateful, whenever any outgoing traffic is going, it creates a session table. Okay. Session table is like very similar to you can talk about the routing table. Like every router is having the routing table. Similarly, we install like our firewall install a session table, and that's make sure that what traffic has gone out. If return traffic is coming, I will check that is their session available for the outgoing. Then I will allow to get the river traffic get inside. Same thing, that's like blocking for the internet to internal traffic. That anyone from the internet cannot access this. Okay, just guys, give me a second. Sorry, guys. So I was talking about the stateful. Okay, so it was done. And do, do you have any question on this?
No, as of now, no.
No? Okay. So fine. Let me move further. Let me start my lab so that I can show you the firewall that how basically it is. Okay. I have for that I have this VMware. So I'm using VMware. Let me check it that so I think you would be aware about the EVNG lab. If not, so this is basically VMware and where I host my EVNG virtual machine. Okay. So if I start this one so that I can show you. You know.
Anil, I have one like, simple query. Like, PNG is good or DNS safe one?
Uh, both are fine, but I will prefer EVNG like better because the DNS needs the installation and it works on the not the browser based. Policy I have to run on the DNS. Mm. So that's why I like try to prefer over this EVNG over the GNS. Here I whatever the things I do, that's I do on the uh, browser. So that's like make this like more effective and the results are good. But obviously that also depends on the resources on your system. If they are not good, this is going to be tough. Let me zoom this little bit. So this the default credentials are admin and EVE once you install it. Okay. And usually we prefer to go via HTML5 console so that everything will open in the browser. So this lab is for the, so I will create a new lab so that you can also learn that how to create the lab if anyone of you doesn't know that. Okay. So I create a new lab and say as a FortiGate first lab. Once you save it, it will open a blank page like this. Okay. Now from right click and you can add the node here. So on the node, whatever the images are available that you will see in the highlighted as blue color. Whatever is not available, you will see as a gray. So you cannot add those. So you see that this is like stop symbol is coming there. So I cannot click and proceed further. I click my Fortinet FortiGate and that's fine. Like I will click save. So I have added my Fortinet, but I will like change the icon so that it should be like look like a FortiGate. That will feel good. Otherwise, it was looking like a novel. Here we go. So now it like looks the symbol looks like a Fortinet. So you will get a feel that okay, this is an actual firewall, right? So if I start this firewall, this is like a no configuration on this firewall, and I start it. I can click it here, and you can see that on the console that what are the action it is taking. This is the first time start. And the login, like because it's the first time, so default credentials are admin, like you hit enter, and there is a no password. I will not type anything, and I will just hit enter. As I hit enter, it will ask me to change my password. Okay, so go for, I will set as a admin123. So I think it having, yeah, that's fine. I will type as admin123 and confirm my password. So now my password has been changed on this firewall. Okay. Now, if I tell you like if you have the hardware, this is like virtual. There's two types of the things. Like you buy a hardware firewall, or you take a virtual machine VM, and that can be used in NSX environment, ESXi, or that can be used in the cloud. Like for example, you have a AWS cloud or Azure cloud, and there you have a lot of servers hosted over there, and you want to secure them, and then you need a virtualized firewall. You need a VM, and you deploy over there in the cloud, and now you're protecting all your traffic, whatever is going in and out. But if you see the hardware, so if I search with the FortiGate firewall, and let's say about the images, right? So that's how basically this FortiGate looks like. If I open this image and zoom little bit, doesn't have good pixels. I will take someone else. This was better. If I download this, okay, could be like the pixels could be better. So that's why I will just download it. And I will save it somewhere in the downloads, and then I will show you. This is like very low end firewall, not like very uh, high end. Yep, this is better. So you see that the port number, very first, like what firewall it is. So this is FortiGate Rug Series 60D. Okay, this is the FortiGate 60D. And now you see that there's a one port for the USB management. We have one port for console. We have port 1, 2, 3, and 4. We also have some WAN 1, WAN 2, and these are the SFP port. So if you are in the networking and you have some you have seen some hardwares, you will see that you understand that what are these SFPs. We insert one SFP, and then it gives you an output of the optical fiber cable. So if you use an RJ45, like it just depends on the SFP, whatever type input you want, you can take it from there. But our focus right now is on this uh, console. Okay. So once you connect from the console, the by default IP address, like the default IP address is 192.168 1.99. So this port is having a DHCP enabled. Same thing, port one also like one also used as a this for the management, and this is for the console. So if you talk about the console, it has the default IP address of here, and if you connect your PC here, by default you will get an IP address on the same series. Could be something like 192.168.1.1 or 1.100, but should be in the same subnet. Okay, and you get that IP address, and you can access your firewall from here. And this port is also used for as a management. This port one, this is called as port one. So if I show you the configuration of this port one, so this is my firewall, and I will say as show system interface. Let's see all interfaces. Okay, so we have like all of the interfaces configuration on your screen, and the first one shows as a edit port one. Like this is the configuration of the port one. Okay, this is the configuration of port two. This is of the port three. So you see that port one is little bit like uh, larger configuration. We have some extra keywords, and that very important one is this line. And also this set mode is DHCP. DHCP is also enabled, and it's not there. So that's why this port one is used as a management port. Whenever you connect anything from your machine, your laptop will get automatically a DHCP IP address on the same series. It also had like 1.99 something. And once you connect that from this port, automatically ping service, like you can ping that interface, you can HTTPS it, SSH it, HTTP and FGF. And this is for the FortiManager. So all these ports are already open. That you don't have to configure anything. They have that access. Okay. It doesn't mean that you cannot configure this on the port 2. You can, but you need an additional configuration to configure it. But port 1 is like ready-made available, and we just have to configure an IP address, and our job is done. We can access. So I want to access my firewall to GUI. Right now, I'm just seeing the CLI of that firewall. So in order to access it, what I need, I will connect this firewall, if it's port one to my PC. Okay, so I will shut down this firewall, because without shutdown, I cannot connect the ports. Like connectivity, I cannot make. So I will stop that device and add a network. They're like simple steps you follow every time you connect to the firewall. Okay, investment, save. And same time, I will also add some VPC so that I can show you the lab demonstration. VPC 1 and VPC 2. Okay. So I will connect like this. This is going to be connected from port 1. So whenever you just drop like this, it gives an option that from which interface you want to connect to. So I want to connect to the port 1. I want to connect this VPC from here. That's going to port 2 on the firewall. Okay. And the machine side, because it is just a computer, so it has only one interface, Ethernet 0. Don't have. Here you have the drop down that multiple interfaces. If you want to connect from port 3, you can choose it. But I'm fine with port 2 here. And same way, you can connect to your PC with port 3. This is like your packet tracer you might have done, or DNS connected. This is like virtual lab. You connect it here. And now next job is to start your firewall. Any question till that?
Sir, I have a small doubt.
Yeah, please.
So now if I have to access the firewall, I'll give the default IP address 1.99. Am I correct?
Usually you get it, but in this our lab environment, we do not get. But usually, like whenever you buy a new firewall, you have a hardware, you you will get
Mhm.
like you will log in via IP address 192.168.1.99.
168 1.99.
Sorry, not 199, only 99.
Yes.
Let me
But
erase
for
it.
example, if I don't want to give the default IP address, if I have to access it through different IP address, let's say if
Mhm.
I'm putting it like through a private IP address, you think I can do that?
Yeah, that's what I will do it just now.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sorry, sir. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So what I will do, I'm
I have one question.
yeah, please.
Like as you said that we have to like turn off or shut it down first for the gate, and after that only we can connect the devices. So,
Mhm.
like it's in network, it's up and working in the
No, no.
network.
Over the
So
over
if
there you
we
can do like, if that you have like a hardware firewall like any production environment, it doesn't mean that for plugging up any cable you have to shut down that device. No, 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 not at all. This is just for the limitation of that our lab EVNG limitation.
uh, okay,
Like you cannot make the connectivity
okay.
this virtual connectivity until you this shut down both the devices. Otherwise, like if you have
Okay.
like any firewall running, four interfaces already connected, you want to plug any cable, you need not to shut down your firewall. You just plug it the cable, your job
Yeah,
is done.
that's what I'm asking because actually I had tried to set up FortiGate in a JNS3 before as well, but in that as well, I'm not sure we have to like shut it down and to start it
No,
again
no, no,
to
no,
do
no,
it.
no, 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 not at all, not at
I'm
all.
not sure.
This is just for our lab session that you cannot make the
E,
connectivity.
it's for EVNG. It's only for EVNG.
Yeah, it's only for EVH.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
for
then.
the
Okay, thanks.
It
EVNG
could be like
professional edition, we can do that
okay,
without
okay, that could
switching
be
off the firewall.
okay. Mhm. And I think in like packet tracer also, I think we need to shut down, then only we connect. I don't remember, but I think so. But it depends. Like this is we are saving money from the professional one, so in the free version, like we can do that one. So next thing, like I will change the IP address. Okay, so I have this machine here, port one. I'll reconnect this. Login again. Admin 1 2 3. Cool. So what I will do, I will configure this an IP address. So I'm going to go here, config system interface. Which of the port I am going to configure or edit? Basically, here it runs command the edit. So I'm going to edit configuration of the port one. So I will give the command as at edit port one. If you have like a notebook with you, you can type these commands like these are simple ones, but you can write them down. And after that one, you can give the command as set IP, set system IP. Oh, just set IP, sorry. Set IP. And before setting IP, I have to change the mode to static. Otherwise, it will not allow to. Okay, let me show you. So if I directly give I this 192.168.30 dot any random number, let's take 180. Okay. And next thing, like here in the FortiGate, you don't have to give the subnet as 255.255.255.0. You can give it. Nobody is stopping you. But the FortiGate is smart enough. It also understands slash 24. So if I give like this, it will take it. But right now, as I said, it doesn't take the IP address right now because it's in the DHCP mode configured automatic before that one. So I will change the mode first. So I will change the mode as set mode as a static because I don't want to configure the DHCP IP. I want to configure the static IP. So that's why I'm just setting that configuration that, okay, I'm going to give the static IP. Hit enter. And now I will give that same IP, what I was giving before, and hit enter. Now it has taken and IP address is configured on that port. After that, I can run the command as end. So once I did end, it means like it's like okay to the firewall. It implements on the interface. I can see that show system interface port 1. So now my IP address, whatever I have just given, it has been set on the device. Cool. Now I can access this firewall via GUI using this IP address. Okay, so I will go in the next tab, 92.168.30.180. And here we go. Same credentials you'll use. Admin, admin123. Okay, it is saying that the evolution license has expired. Okay, why is that? Let me check it. Okay, I got it. It is I went to the connectivity to the internet, and that's why it happens. So I need to configure do the same thing once again. So not to worry, it will be like a revision for you. It happens because we are just using the firewall without license, so it keeps you have to click wipe the configuration, and it starts working once again. So I will just quickly do the same thing. Okay, before that I have to do that. Sorry. There's like some shortcuts I have to do. Without that, it doesn't work. And that's just because of I have the connectivity to the internet from the VMware. Otherwise, next, if you don't face this issue, you can do one thing that you stop the internet connectivity on this VMware. Then it works very fine. You don't have to struggle like this the way I'm struggling here. Okay. But it is like one time. Once it is done once, you are good to go. I will do the same thing once again. Change the password. And now I'm going to set the IP. Okay. So config system interface, edit port 1, set mode static, set IP. And IP I'm going to put at 192.168.30.180/24. End. This is done. I will just now connect to this machine now. From the port 1 and make this device up. And let me do the continuous ping because whenever it comes up, it will tell me right away. Ping 192.168.30.180. Okay, it's pinging, so it means that it is up now. Now I can access via GUI. How many of you have already seen the GUI of the firewall?
I have seen it.
Seen it?
I have seen also.
Okay, most of you. That's good. So admin and admin123. And here we go. It's asking me to some change thing, but I will just do that later. Whenever you log in the first time, it will give you some warning or like about the new FortiOS 7.0. Yep. So I will.
Sir, I'm also stuck on the evaluation and same error. How it's resolved, sir?
Okay. So the problem is like it goes to the internet. Whenever you connect like this, it goes, this port one is having the DHCP mode configured, right? So it gets an IP address automatically, and that IP address uh, gets the connectivity to this firewall to the internet. And if you give the internet connectivity to the firewall, it gets that, okay, you are using some free version, and it's just simply saying that, okay, you cannot use. What you have to do, you change to some other IP address. Don't like what I did. I disconnected this link, okay, then change the IP address to the some other IP address, and then I
Okay.
connected it. So you will come to,
Okay.
we will
Thank
come
you,
back
sir.
later on, like
Thank you for
with this. So we'll be
that.
come back because it will be confusing for all the
Sure.
guys. So we'll come with like later on.
Yeah. Thank you.
So that's how it can be done, and that's the way. Okay, actually, the conclusion is that you should not be having an internet connectivity on the port one. If you have internet connectivity, you must have license. Without license, it will not allow you to work. So that's how like your firewall look like. And from here, I should tell you some of the things. This is like host name. You can see it. What is the host name? So this is according to our company standard. We like every organization has some standard of the naming convention that, okay, these names should be there, like location wise or region wise, and then at the end serial number. So this, let's suppose this in India, so they write like in India, and then after that one they say some location like in Delhi, so they like this DEL, and then which firewall number it is. So let's suppose this is a five number of firewall, so this is this, I like this. So that's how like they put the serial number. Like it's like a standard for every organization. Whatever your organization have, you can follow and give the name. Next thing is your serial number, like this serial number. What is your firmware? So currently we are using the version 7.0.4. People also call it as like 40 OS. So like you have in the Cisco, you have iOS. So here you call it as a 40S. In the Palo Alto, we call it as a PAN OS. So this name is same, but actually the thing is like it is a software, and they also here termed as a firmware. Okay. System time, it's saying as like what is the system time right now? Okay, and how much time it has gone after the firewall has been up when IP is unknown. Whatever the license, you can see here that what are the licenses available, and you can go according to that. These are the CPUs available, that how many CPUs are available, because it is a VM. So the monitoring of the CPUs and RAM is very essential. So we should monitor those as well. Next thing, and that's like very essential, that is the CPU and memory monitoring. So usually these are done via the monitoring team or the SOC team. They take care of this one. Why it is important? Because if your CPU utilization goes like very high, your firewall may take a restart. And it takes the restart, it will be an unplanned outage. It means that you are stuck in a situation that you got a huge escalation, revenue loss as well. And nobody affords to take an unplanned outage, right? Same thing with the memory, that you have to like keep on monitoring these CPU and the memory uses here. And these are usually caused because of the high session numbers. Let's suppose your firewall is low end firewall at a 60F. According to the data sheet, this I'm just example giving that according to the data sheet, for example, it can handle up to 6,000 session per second, right? And now your sessions are reaching approximately 5,600, like 5,600 or 5,900. So accordingly, your utilization will be going high. So now you need upgradation of your firewall. Some other causes could also be there, like sometimes there are some bugs in the firewall, or some IPS feature, IPS engine is causing that one. So there could be like a number of reasons. If you look onto the logs and you get the reason, that's fine. If not, we have to go for the FortiNet tag, and they just look onto that why this is going high if this session count is not going high. Like if session count is going high and you find it, that's okay, like this usual cause. But if all these basic things are fine, then obviously we have to go for the tag to look onto that why it is going high. And we have to look for the remediation. And if required, we can plan for the upgrade of your firewall as well. Any questions till now?
Anuj,
Yeah.
Yes,
um,
sir.
is the data plane and management plane the same, or I mean, are they separate like the Palo Alto?
Yeah, they are separate. Yeah.
Okay,
So
thank you.
yeah. Anyone else has some question?
So far, fine, sir.
No, fine. Okay, that's cool. So if we go on to like options here, that what are the things like what are options available? So I will just quickly brief them. Not possible like can't go one by one, but just to say that in the like, okay, I will take just a mouse so that I can explain it. So here we have like in the dashboard, so whatever you're seeing it here, right? So you can modify and add that dashboard. Next section is network. If you go in the network section, you have like network interfaces. You can view the what are the network interfaces available, whatever their status is there. You have like packet capture, DNS, static routes. What are the networking things are available? RIP, OSPF, BGP, all of the CCNA, whatever you have, CCNP you have done, all the things could be configured here. Okay. Next thing is our policy and objects. So we have like whatever the rules I was talking about, they are configured under the firewall policy. Address objects, services, schedules, virtual IPs, these all things can be configured under here. These are the security profiles. People also call them as a UTM or next generation firewall features like antivirus, web filter, intrusion prevention, file filter, right? So all of them are available. So you see that this is IPS signature available. So IPS is part of this firewall. Okay. In the VPN, we can configure our IPsec tunnels using an IPsec wizard. We can also configure an SSL VPN or portals. Okay. So clientless or full client VPN, those can be configured. User aware firewall policies can also be configured. So we have to give like user groups, user definition, create users. Okay. We can also integrate our firewall with the remote authentication servers, for example, LDAP or Radius. Okay. And single sign-on can also be configured. Under the system settings, you can see that what are administrators users can be created, firmware upgrade, HA, high availability, SNMP, these type of things could be configured. Security fabric, we have this physical topology, logical, security rating, automation part. Also, we have the fabric connectors and all. At the end, we have like log and report section where we basically uh, do for the troubleshooting. Like once our firewall is hosted, hand over to the operations team, and now any user comes to us to the firewall admin that okay, I'm trying to access this website and that's not working. Or any server team comes that okay, I'm trying to access the database server and from XYZ server, I'm not connect to the database server. So now it's like your troubleshooting skills that we go in the logs, forward traffic, we check the traffic that whether that specific port is allowed or not. We can add filters from here, source IP address, destination IP address, and then we can check it out that whether it is working or not. Accordingly, we can take the decision whether I have to create the rules to allow that, and then we proceed further. So different type of logs are available, and we can check as per our requirement wherever we are stuck there. Okay. So any questions till now?
Sir, yes, I have a question. Right now, when we created only this connectivity to, will it be like WAN 1 we are connecting, or will it be WAN 2? And in case if I'm using both, yeah, will it be like a HA or something? Or do we need a different configuration? Would you be able to just brief me if you don't mind?
For the HA, we need 2 firewall. Okay, high availability means
Yes,
like
that
you
is
have
for
to
high
add
availability or failure.
failure. So we need one more firewall,
But
and then we have the connectivity over there.
mhm,
So what was your
yes,
question? Like,
but how about WAN 1, WAN 2, sir? The second part of question was if
uh,
now on the port I saw WAN 1, WAN 2, correct? When you
uh-huh,
showed me
uh-huh.
that picture, 60D picture, even
Correct, yeah.
60E, 60F we are using in office. So
Mm,
that is something I had a bit of confusion. If I use two internet service providers,
mm.
what do I need to do to switch between them? Do automatically they switch, or that's something I just had a doubt. If you can just brief me on that.
So for that, we usually use SD-WAN to optimize those. So if you are using that one, you can switch from one to other. Otherwise, you cannot.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you have to use some other protocols
No,
to switch from
I
one to
didn't know about it. So
other.
I didn't know
So,
about that. Sorry, that's the reason I was asking you.
yeah. So it's like if you are
Anuj,
like,
can
mm,
in that case, can we use a switch in between the WAN and FortiGate, and we can connect like one LAN link to the switch, and from the switch we can connect two ports differently to the one FortiGate firewall and second firewall, so that it
yeah,
can
yeah.
provide
It's
a
like it's on your solution that how you take it. Like, for example, you have heard of like protocol VRRP,
yeah,
right? So you
HSRP and
can,
VRRP.
yeah, HSRP, yeah. So they do the same thing. Like you have two internet links, and you want to like which one to take the priority, right? So that's also like works. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can do that one. It's like your solution. That can also be done if you're not using that SD-WAN feature. Like you
We
can
can
introduce,
configure HSRP and VRRP on the firewall box itself.
no, not on the firewall. Like you have to separate uh,
It's
switch.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay. So like there are a lot of things to learn as you see, like all those things. There's like a lot of things. So some like takes time to like to go for all of them individually one by one. So that's how like we are going to cover. Like this is going to be, I think you might be aware that this is going to be around 2 months course and weekend classes, Saturday and Sunday. So every day we will be taking the 2 hours, around 30 to 32 hours. And then we're going to cover most of things, not all the things, like, but maximum of the things. For example, uh, we will I think you might be having the blueprint, but let me tell you in the brief that what are we going to cover, and then we will try to uh, do the configuration from like two machines I took, right? Then after that one, I will just try to set a policy from here to here so that like I can ping these two machines. But let me tell you very first that what I'm going to cover in this entire content. So very first thing, like we will come to know about the firewall basics, what we are just learning. We will have some more about the firewall basics if you don't know. And then we will learn about the firewall policies, okay? How to create them, what are the best methods to do that one, how the optimization work, and what should be the strategy in the production environment, and we should configure them. After that one, we will go for like firmware upgrade. Obviously, we cannot do firmware upgrade, but I'll tell you that how basically it is done and what are the upgrade path and how to find those, how it can be done. Okay. We'll see some how to take the backups and restore. Well, before that, like here, it's also required like network interface configuration because without interface, like there's imperative that we can do the policy things. So interface configuration and what are the different type of interfaces available. So these things, and we will also learn about the static routes, that how we can configure the static routes in the firewall. We are not going to cover the OSPF and BGP, but you know it, so you can configure. But I'm not going to cover. I will just use a static route, static routing, not the router, static routing. Okay, so that I will be using, and I will tell you that how to configure those. Later on, I will tell you like the packet flow, that how is the life inside the firewall. What are the checks it does, like DDoS checks, botnet check, and then for these policy check and UTM features. So how basically it is crossing NAT and all, how this is happening, okay? Life inside the firewall. So that's going to be around, could be like 1 or 1.5 hour session only for the packet flow. Later on, we will learn about the NAT. So I will cover up those what you have like covered in the CCNA as well, but you already know it. So we'll like understand the concept of source NAT and the destination NAT. And we will also try to configure these in the lab, that how basically they work. So DNAT covers your virtual IP part, that what are the virtual IP. So the name here in the firewall comes as a virtual IP. So we'll try to configure the virtual IP using the policy and then try to connect to one server that, okay, we are able to do it or not. We will learn about the VPN, virtual private network. So here we will go for some cryptography.
Sir,
Standard, right?
can I ask one question?
Just let me finish it, then we will take it.
Okay, sir.
And then basics of cryptography, that how basically we use a symmetric and asymmetric algorithm and how they are used to communicate from one device to another firewall. So here I will be covering the lab part of site-to-site VPN only, not the remote access. Okay. And we will take two firewalls and then try to configure the site-to-site VPN between them, and that tunnels should be up. Then we also understand that some troubleshooting step, that's like if the tunnel is not coming up, then what are things we should do, how to make that up. Okay. We also learned about some UTM features like app ID, web filter, that you want to block any URL, how to configure like block any specific file type, for example, .exe file you want to block in your network, or some other file types like binary file, which are very like dangerous. And most of the virus are or like unintended softwares are traveling in these extensions. So we will not allow that, how to block those. Okay. And then we will also learn about the app ID, web filter is done. So I think these two are fine. One more thing I'm just missing. Okay, antivirus, I think feature we can use it, but it's like more in the details. So I can tell you that how to configure the policy, but not in the too detail. So this is like very simple one only. So we'll just have a look at how to use that security profile. Okay. So after that one, we will also take it as a HA, that is our high availability. How to, we will learn the theory about it, and then after we are confident enough, then we will also take about the lab part, that we will try to configure the HA in the between two firewalls and then try to switch them over from one to other one, and then traffic should not be impacted. So these are the things like we are going to cover in like around 30 to 35 hours. It just depends that how we take it. So if you are asking a lot of questions, then it makes 10 to larger time. If you ask less questions, like we may cover it in the short time. So somebody was asking some question.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes.
Without license, we can create VPN tunnel, sir, at
Yeah,
FortiGate.
that's good part you took it. Yeah, we can create this tunnel. This VPN will work. Only problem will be coming in the web filter. So I can configure. There is no
Okay, sir.
restriction in the only like I can configure it. I will show you that how to configure it. The only thing it will be, it will not be working. So for example, I created a policy to block facebook.com. I cannot show you that, okay, this is really blocked. But yeah, how to configure that policy, how to create it, and everything we can do all the configuration. There's no restriction on that. So only thing you have to
Okay,
trust me
sir.
that,
Thank
okay,
you.
we have configured the policy, so it will block. That's what only you have to trust. That's it. But
Is
remaining
this
everything we can do.
because is
Mhm.
this because we are using like not a paid version? That is why we can't do this.
No, because of the license.
Yeah, license, which is the paid version, right?
Yeah, upgraded like we are using version 7.0, so that is like almost latest release, but the license the issue. So license also itself like cost a lot. So that's why if I give the
Okay,
license,
because
Mhm.
I had like used in FortiGate in Unity, and uh,
Mhm.
I have like tried to upgrade the firewall as well, and then I was successfully able to do that.
No, no,
So that is why
configuration
I'm
we can,
asking.
no, configuration we can do, but only thing like it may not be working. That's what I'm saying. You can configure, I can configure without license in this firewall also. I will show you that how to make the policy, how to create the profile and all. I can
No,
do
actually,
everything.
I'm asking about the upgrade thing, like upgradation we can
Ah,
do
yes, yes,
that. That's
that's
what I'm
right. Yeah,
asking.
yeah, this one. Yeah,
That's
that's right.
actually we can do in GNS3 very well
Without license.
without license as well. I think one more thing is there, like FortiGate provide free license to everyone, which is for lifetime free for the training thing.
Okay, we'll check that. If it is available, then we will be able to do firmware upgrade as well. If I'm able to secure that,
Yeah.
then
And one more thing, like for
mm,
the VPN thing, like as you said that we are not able to go for the remote VPN. So
mm.
it is again because of this event CVNG and
No, no,
not licensed version. That is the reason, or it's not in the
no.
course.
The reason for the remote access is that is like it needs the like machine where you connect it. Next thing, it needs a certificate. The certificate is a challenge, and the creating the lab topology also becomes a little bit challenge. So it should be like some real environment. Then only we can like you can try configuring it, but is thing like you it will not be working. That's the only concern. So that's why I do not use that remote access in our content.
Okay. Is it possible, like, if you can go for the theory instead of
Yeah, yeah,
going practical in the case of
yeah. That will be covered.
remote?
That
In the case
whenever
of remote,
yeah, whenever I am going with the basics of cryptography, then I will cover that part.
why I'm asking, because in the environment where I'm working, the client for where I'm working, we have
Mhm.
this remote thing as well,
Yep,
because
yep.
our client is in the US, and the
We
remote
will cover it.
option is
Whatever the
already
questions,
working on
whatever
the
the
FortiGate.
questions we are
So
having, like for example, you are having any question individually, that we will take it, but like through the content, like it will be difficult to cover that one. Like whenever you have like any individual questions, like you are stuck somewhere,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
we are happy to help cover you.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's cool.
So what are requirements to make a HA mode in firewalls?
Requirement for
What are all requirements to make a HA mode in a FortiGate firewall?
a requirement I will be covering when I'm covering this one for the HA, I will cover in the detail. So basic things are like they should be equal firewall, same farm model, same firmware versions. So and same if they are VM, there should be same and count of interfaces, same licenses. That's the requirement. So I'll be covering in the more detail when I'm just covering the HA part. But these are like basic requirements that we must have to form the HA, a pair between two firewalls. Okay, next question. I think John is having his hands up. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd just like to know how are we gonna sign up for the next coming session?
So for the coming sessions, like we have enrollment page. Let me go ahead. So this is my website. Let me show you. Pressdeveloper.online. Okay. And here on the FortiGate section, there's an option of the FortiGate Firewall. You can click it here, and you can like enroll and pay. This is like charges in the INR. If you are like in other currency you need, if you're having issues in the payment, you can connect to me one-to-one. I will send you an individual link for that one. But this is like normal. You can click on enroll and pay. It will redirect you to the payment gateway page from the Razor Pay, and that's how you can make payment and continuously like we can go ahead for this course.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like for any issues, you can connect me on WhatsApp. This is my number, and I think most of you will be having my number. So, like still, if you don't have, like on the website is available, and this website is pressdeveloper.online, not .com. Okay, .online. Any other question we have?
Anuj, I have one doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, are we covering 40 manager as well, or
Forty managers basics I will be taking like not in the too much detail, but like basics that how to push the policies and how to uh, do the checks. Like whenever we are pushing any policy, we compare like, okay, what are we going to do? So basic thing, only pushing of the policy, I will tell you, but not in the detail that how to upgrade the 40 manager and all that's, or how to install that, how to connect that. That's I'm not going to cover. Only like pushing of the
okay,
policy from 40 manager to firewall that I will be taking care.
okay.
Any other question? Else, like we will jump to our lab.
Hello.
Yeah,
Sir, can I make a management port apart from one?
yeah, you can. You can use any of the port, whatever you want, but you have to like give those accesses, like set allow access, whatever is available. You can use that and like give the access as an admin access, and you can use that. Not a problem. Any other question? No. Okay. So let me jump to my lab once again. So this was my topology. Okay. So here what my job is to do, I will try to sign one IP here and another IP here and try to ping from this machine to this machine using a firewall policy. Okay. So let me quickly assign like label the IP very first that what are the things I'm going to use. Okay. I'll take IP address one, or let's take 10 series, 10.1.1.1. Okay. This is I'm going to use on the interface of the firewall here, and duplicate, and that's what I'm going to use at the VPC. This is basically a computer, but only it gives us feature of the CLI, not the GUI. And another, let's make one more network here. That is 2. So this is going to be 10.1.2.1, and this is going to be 10.1.1.2.10. Okay. And let's assign those. So very first I will start these, both of them, and go to the interface configuration of this port 2 and port 3. So I will go here, admin, admin 1, 2, 3. And if you don't have the link of my website, I can give directly here in the chat. Meanwhile, it's like simple name, freshdeveloper.online. But if you don't have, you can go here. and I was configuring the interface. Okay, so network interface and port 2 I will edit, and I will not change anything as of now. I will be explaining later on in the detail that what are they and how they work. 10.1.1/24 port 2, and I will allow ping here. Okay, and port 3 that is going to be 10.1.2.0, and also allow the ping here. IP address I'm going to give as 10.1.2.0. So these I will be covering in the detail the interface type. Okay, dot one and click OK. So my firewall interface are configured. Next thing I have to create a policy from this 10.1.1.10 to this one. Okay, so very first thing I am configuring on these machines, and without policy, let's see if it is working or not. So how to configure the IP? You can like give this command show IP. So right now it's showing as a 0.0. It means no IP is configured. How to configure? You can give this command IP ? It will tell you the syntax that this is the way to configure the IP address. And where is this is the default gateway. So I will configure an IP 10.1.1.10/24, and the default gateway for this, like whenever any machine is pinging, the default gateway should be this 10.1.1. If you are like networking guy, it will be easy for it will be very easy for you to understand. For any traffic, every traffic, the default gateway this one. For this PC, default gateway will be this IP. So that's what I'm going to configure. 10.1.2.1. No, sorry, 1.1. Okay. So this is done. I can check it, show IP. So this is done, 10.1.1.10. Okay. This is now I'm going to configure on the other PC. 10.1.2.10/24, and the gateway will be 10.1.2.1. That's what going to be default gateway. Cool. Show IP. I think it's already showing up, but let me confirm again. So it's configured. Okay. So very first thing, I'm going to check it from the default gateway that I'm able to ping the default gateway or not. So my default gateway is 10.1.1.1. I'm fine. Like connectivity from here up to here, that is fine. There is no issue here, right? Now I want to ping this 10.1.2.10. So let me do that. Ping 10.1.2.10. And it says that the request timed out. So it's not allowed on the policy. So if I check the policy here on the firewall, what are the policies there? It has the default policy, and default policy says implicit. Implicit deny means like any traffic coming here to there, everything will be denied. Means that nothing is allowed to cross through our firewall. But I want to allow it. So I will create a new rule. I will create a test policy. Traffic coming from interface port 2 going to port 3. So that's what I'm going to say here, that incoming is going to be port 2, outgoing is going to be port 3. Source, that what are the source IP. So as of now, I will just not configuring any individual, but like in practice, we just configure the source IP or subnet only. But I'm just for the simplicity, just configuring all as of now. And services, I'm configuring all ICMP because we are going to just ping now. No NAT is required. Traffic is accepted. Log all the sessions. and keep the policy enabled. So like if you want sometime, you can disable the policy and create it. But right now I'm going to get it enabled as well. Okay, and click OK. Cool. So I have the policy, test policy, and now according to it, all ICMP traffic is allowed. So if I ping now, here we go. And now my traffic is working very fine. Any question in this till now? Could be because like we have gone a little bit faster. So I will be covering this in like upcoming classes in more details. But as of now, if you have any question, let me know. No, okay. So I have one more question for you. So if I try to ping from this machine to this machine, like from here, I just pinged it. It was working fine. I tested it. But if I'm going from this machine to this, then it is going to work or not?
No, sir,
Somebody says no. Okay. Then why it will not work?
because it's not make a policy for this PC.
Okay, that's right. So we allowed all and all, right? From all source to all destination. That's what the policy is, right? All ICMP. It should be working, isn't it? Right, Neeraj? You say the source and destination are changed, but I have allowed all and all. So it should be same.
Yes, and it has a state table, right?
State table has, so state table will say that whatever was requested from here, that will only be allowed. But if you are initiating from this side, will that be allowed?
I think so. No.
Could you please show the FortiGate interface setting once
Policy,
again?
you want to see the policy?
No, not policy. It's interface setting on FortiGate.
Interface setting, okay. Network interfaces,
FortiGate.
okay. This one, right?
Yes, right. Um, I think this should work.
Should work, okay. So how many of you say yes, like it should work?
I think for me,
Yes. Now somebody has got the right answer. I think it is needed.
It shouldn't work.
Yeah, it will not work. Yeah. Why it will not work? Because somebody has written it in the chat. Neeraj has written in the chat because ports has been changed. If you see the policy here, I have allowed the traffic from, okay, not here, it's visible. It's visible here. If I click here, then you see that I have said that, okay, incoming port is port 2 and going to port 3. Okay, so if the reverse traffic will be coming, that will be like this will be incoming and this is going to be outgoing. So that's why it will not work. Let me just check it or basically show it. I know it will not work, but let me show you. Ping 10 dot 1 dot 1 dot 1, right? Yeah, 1 dot 1. 1 dot 10, sorry. It's getting timed out. So if I create one more policy, right? Create new, I will say it's test 2. Traffic coming from port 3, going to port 2, all and all ICMP. In fact, all was also work, but okay, that's okay. And all sessions. Okay. So now it should work, right? Now you can say yes confidently, man. Don't worry, it will
Yes,
work.
sir. It's working now.
Yes, yes, it will work.
So now it's working. Perfect. All right.
Yes, sir.
So I will stop today for the day. If you have any questions, let me know.
Is it
But
possible to do vice versa with a single policy?
that's the good question. Let me show you. If I go to the policy and edit this policy, can I select multiple ports here? If I select two, three only will be gone, right? I cannot add the port right now, right? But there is an option. Right now, there's like this firewall is configured in the different manner. Some admin uh, way is something different. Otherwise, there's an option. We can enable it from the system admin settings and we can configure the uh, two or more ports. But we can basically like your answer of your question is yes, we can. But right now in this situation, we cannot. Okay. So right now this firewall is configured to use only one port in a policy. So in this way, we cannot. But if you want, you can enable some option in the firewall. And in that case, it does allow to use multiple port in a single policy. In that way, you can do. Like in the same policy, you will use the port 3 as well here and here port 2 as well. So in that case, you can do.
Where we can check that option in the secure system?
You have a lot of curiosity,
Can you
man.
give some suggestion?
Yes, it's I have to go to the set. Okay, this I have to go to the feature visibility. Sorry. And here there is an option of just look there. Somebody there will be an option for the multiple ports allowed. Allow endpoint control in our NAM policy. Yeah, this is an option for the multiple interface policies. You can enable it
Okay.
and then it will be working.
Okay.
But good one. Curiosity is very good, you know. So sometimes don't get a good audience, but today I got good guys. At least have good interaction. So it feels good when you're teaching, right? You have some questions and queries. All right. So that's it. Like I'll stop for the day today. If you have any questions, feel free to ask right now.
I have a question regarding on the dashboard. Does it
Yeah, please.
change if the device is bigger, you know, or it's the standard?
This is like you can configure according to your requirement. Like this is like you can add more widgets here. These
Oh,
are the
okay,
options available. You can add and remove according to your requirement.
okay, understood.
Mm.
So where do we see the hits on the firewall? Like how can we monitor the ping drops and those things?
So for that, we have this option log and report. You can see the logs that what is happening, like whatever the ping we did, all are tracked here.
And the one which is dropped,
Dropped one is not logged right now because that is the hitting on the implicit deny, and we are not logging the traffic in the implicit deny as of now in this firewall. But usually in the production firewall, we do enable it, and you can see that it is hitting the implicit deny. But
okay.
this is like we have not configured this firewall to log traffic for the default policy. That's why we don't
Mhm.
see that here. But in the production one, you will see that deny there.
That again that we have to like allow that in the system option, or it should have some user setting which can
Uh,
show us the drop because That is one of the like the scenario tickets we have heard in the live environment that traffic is dropping and something like that. I think you also know that, right?
You have to trust me. It shows there, but I can like show you. For example, uh, I created this test to write. Okay.
Because this is very common, like to
Yeah.
we actually need to check, right?
You have to trust me. I said that it happens, but let me show you as well. So, for example, right now I have changed my policy and configured it as deny. Okay. You see that test policy is first one is okay, and test two for reverse traffic, like I have deny traffic. Like from here to here, I have configured a deny traffic. Okay. Now, if I try to ping from this machine, I have to modify that policy once again because it doesn't log the log violations. So I have to, you see, there's an option of the log violation traffic. Okay. So I have to enable that as well. Then only it will log that. Now, if I ping it and go to log and report, you can see the deny.
Okay, so we have to enable this policy violation. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That is usually done on the implicit
But in
deny.
Palo Alto, yeah, right. But in I think in Palo Alto, I have seen that they were checking in some something web browser kind of option. So whenever we do a ping, they got a hit, and they check in that web browser something option, and from there they used to troubleshoot things. So I'm
In
not
the
sure. I thought it's the
Palo
same with
Alto,
FortiGate as well.
no, in the Palo Alto also we have that interzone and intrazone default. There we check that. So if you have like
Ah,
hitting that
okay.
interzone, it means like it is getting dropped because according to the Palo Alto, interzone is dropped and intrazone is allowed.
Mm-hmm. Right. The zone concept isn't there in FortiGate.
Uh, Zone concept is available on the FortiGate. If you want, you can configure, but it's not like mandatory that you
Nice.
have to configure like without zone, it cannot work. Like Palo Alto without zone, it doesn't work. You have to create the zone. Here, like you can work without zone as well.
Mm.
We will have the session later on, class later on this as well, right? Like to search for the traffic which is dropping or
Yeah, yeah.
something
We
like
will
that,
cover this
right?
firewall
Adding
policy.
filter and all these things.
Correct. This is like you can say the first one, firewall basics. Like you at least you get a feel that how the firewall works. We will be covering up everything in
Correct,
the
correct,
detail in the coming sessions. Yeah.
got it.
Any other question we have?
Mhm. The next class would be on Saturday, or is it going to be on Monday?
On Saturday. We have this Saturday and Sunday planned.
Saturday.
Okay, so Neeraj has a question that if I create one policy allow and by mistake create another deny policy for the same IPs and ports will be applied first. This is first come first services. Whatever the policy you create first, that will be applicable. Second will not be applicable. Any other question we have? Else we'll stop here.
Is this only for FortiGate or for all firewalls? This is the same, like
First come
the
first serve. It's
first one.
for I think it's for almost all. Palo Alto also has same
Okay, okay.
issue. Like
Thank you.
whatever the policy on the top, that will be like more that will be effective, and second will not be working. And I have seen the same on like
Okay, thank you.
Azure and AWS as well. They works in the same way. ACL, like you have that access controllers, right? That's
Yes, correct.
also I think the same way. First come first serve, yeah, same way. You can enroll from this link for like the coming classes. You can go, and if you have like payment issues or something like you can't do that one, just get in touch me on WhatsApp. Well, I will be helping you out for other ways of payment or method if you struggle here or doesn't do. Usually Razor Pay is like a very good payment gateway. It just doesn't have issues, but still if you have, or you have any queries and questions, because it could be like this course related or how are we going to do. If you have question in between, like feel free to get in touch.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for the class.
Okay, perfect. So I will stop it here today. See you next Saturday. Till that, bye.
Yeah, can we get this recording?
Yeah, I will upload this recording in my YouTube channel. Let me show you that as well. I think most of you could be aware of my channel. That's like my
Yeah, we
name of the Fresh
are.
developer. Yeah, so if not, you can like, let me, so this is my channel. Sometimes I like enjoy with the Linux for hackers as well. But yeah, Palo Alto and FortiGate are like uh, main topics here. So you can like get the recording here. And the URL is the @fresh developer. You can see that youtube.com @fresh developer. You can access. Otherwise, you can just search with the fresh developer. You will get only like this channel, not any other channel. Because I think I have this
One more
unique
thing,
name.
like it seems like it's a demo session, so this may be uploaded was on the YouTube. What about the other sessions that we are going to have? Can we get a
Correct.
recording for those as well, side for the
Yes,
revision thing?
yes, for those you will get the recording. For that you have to uh, I will upload all of them in my this portal. This is my website, net.online. Okay. So they're like whatever the batches I have run, you can see that all the courses here. I will give access to here. You can sign up if you want from here, but the course
Yeah,
like
I
which one
already
you are
signed
going to.
up to this.
Okay, cool. So like I will give you just after enrollment, I will assign the course to your email ID and you will get all the recordings in the same and the Zoom link as well, like Zoom, whatever you will be joining on and this recordings, all of them you will be accessing to this portal. They will be
So
on the
is
YouTube,
this a
but only
like
private.
lifetime access or it's a limited one?
This is by default 1 year, but if you need, I will extend it. There's no extra charge for that one. But by default, it is 1 year. But if you need, like you want to extend it, that okay, sir, I still need extend it, so I will extend it. So you can say
Is
ultimately
there any
this like
option to
lifetime.
download the classes, those classes? I mean,
Downloading will not be available because these are like whatever I'm doing. Say downloading is not available. You cannot download them.
okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Anuj, do you have any tip on how can we download an image for the Fortinet for Evenji?
Yeah, you have to go to this video. There's a one recorded video for this. Somewhere this one, how to install EVNG. Okay.
Oh, I
And
mean the okay.
so if you go there, you will get the link of FortiGate to like download that image as well. It will help you to
Okay,
install
gotcha.
that EVNG as well as like you will get the link how to download. So it's in the description of this video basically that
Mhm.
image for this Palo Alto EVNG, sorry, Palo Alto 48 and one that L3 switch. These
Oh
three
yeah,
links are available there. So you can get there.
oh yeah. I just requested for an access.
Okay. I will just do it. Did you just did it or?
No, I'm still.
Okay, I will approve it. So most probably I just approve it like it's sometimes I'm getting busy. So within 2 to 3 days, I just usually approve them.
All right, thank you.
Okay, perfect.
That would be all.
Yep, perfect. All right. So let me know if you have other question. I'll stop today.
Thank you, sir. Can we exit now?
Yep, please feel free.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank,
Thank you,
You
everyone.
too.
thank you,
You too.
Anuj. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye.